This form that you're going to be going over for the rules and regulations, this will be the first page. This is your parent agreement form. This form is giving us permission to take your child on short walks around the center. On this form, please make sure that you first fill in your child's name and your name right here. This is for the enrolling parent only. And then make sure that here is the child's complete first and last name. We do not need middle names on these forms. You're giving us permission to take your child on short walks around the center. So that way in an emergency situation, they know exactly where to go on campus. This is also giving us permission to take their picture within the classroom so we can display it on their cubbies, on different things for their artwork, that sort of thing. You're also receiving a copy of the consent and release form, a copy of the uniform complaint procedure, and you are stating that you're receiving a copy of your parent handbook. Now these forms will be in your parent handbook, and you will be given that at the completion of your enrollment. Once you've completed everything, sent it back, we verify that your signatures are there, you will be receiving this in the mail. You are also going to be receiving a copy of the lead poisoning facts to help prevent the lead poisoning of your family. Registration and follow-up, you are expected to notify the teacher if there's any changes to your enrollment information, parent phone number, address, emergency contact information. You're expected to follow up on all requests for health and dental services, and you are expected to attend the regularly scheduled parent-teacher conferences. Now the third section, you're only going to select one of the options. There are 3 different statements. It pertains to your insurance. If your child already has adequate insurance, please check the middle line. If you do not have insurance and you are interested in enrolling in emergency medical, which is out of pocket, it only covers emergency room visits. It does not cover any doctor's visits or immunizations or checkups for your child. That would be the top line. If you do not have insurance, you're not interested in enrolling in anything, please check the bottom line. After you've gone through each one of these, and there's initials on all of the lines, please make sure you sign it and date it at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and pause and let you go through that, and then we can go to the next page. This is the consent and release for liability form. The participant's name is going to be your child's name. This is going to be the first and last name here. Please put in today's date, and then the name of the school that your child will be attending if it's not already populated. On this form, you are allowing your child to participate in any activities that are going to be done in the school while it's in session. If they're going to do any training videos for any school sites, it's going to only be used for school district purposes. If it's going to be used for anything outside of the district, there will be a separate permission form letting you know exactly what it's going to be used for before you are signing off for your documents. This form is only to be completed by the parent that's enrolling the child. You will not fill out this middle section here. This is only if you are a high school student over the age of 18 consenting to the use of your information. So your child's information will go down at the bottom section. You're going to write your child's name here on the line, and then you're going to sign if you consent with your address and phone number listed. If you do not consent to this, you can go ahead. Do not fill out this part, fill out this top part, and write at the top, I do not consent, and then sign and date it there. This will allow us to remove your child from the school setting, that classroom, while they're doing any type of videos, pictures, anything like that, so your child will not be included. So you do have the option one way or the other. Just make sure that you are specifying what your preference is. Go ahead and complete the form. You can feel free to read this through, and then make sure you completely fill out the bottom if you are consenting, or again, fill out the top and say, I do not consent, and then sign and date that. Go ahead and take a minute, pause the video, complete the form, and then we'll go on to the next one. This form is the home language survey. Please complete this and answer every question on the form. Your child's last name will be the surname or family name. Your child's first name will be the first given name. If you want, you can also complete the age of the student. If you're going to enter a grade level, that will be pre-K if it's a preschool student, so you can just put in PK if you'd like. Or if it's a school-age child, you can put in whatever grade your child's in. We do not need a teacher's name for our preschool students. That has not yet been assigned. But if you have a school-age child and you know what the teacher's name is, please feel free to fill that out. You are going to be answering questions 1 through 4. If there are more than one language that is being used in the home, complete all of this. You can write all that applies on each line. If it's the same on each line, please feel free to write it in each line, or you can write the first language here and then put an arrow all the way down. When you have completed that, you can go ahead and sign and date it. Go ahead and take a minute, fill out the form, and then we'll go on to the next one. This form is the request for social services. Please make sure you fill out the date that you're filling out the forms. On this section, we do have a booklet of information that has contact information for all of these services. These contact numbers and addresses are for the parent to follow up on their own. If you would like the information, it is a complete booklet, and we can send that out with your parent handbook. If you are interested in any of the services, any information in them, or you just want the booklet, you can go ahead and check yes, and we'll send that out to your home. If you are not interested in receiving any information on any of these services and you don't want the booklet, please check no, that you're not interested at this time. Please be aware that these booklets are available anytime you'd like. Even if you choose not to accept it at this time, you can always come into our office or give us a call and we can mail one out to you anytime. On this form, we only need the information for the child you are enrolling into our program. If you have multiple children that you're enrolling, go ahead and make sure you put in every child's first and last name, the date of birth, and the program or the name of the center that you're enrolling them into. Again, if you're only enrolling one student, but you have 3 children, only put the one child's information on the form. Once you have completed this, you can go ahead and sign it and print your name. We only need a contact phone number for you. If you do have an issue that you would like to speak with a member of our social services team, you can put in the nature of the problem. If you leave your phone number, we can make sure that somebody calls you and goes over any information, any concerns that you may have regarding your child. Make sure that you completely fill it out, take a minute, and then we'll go on to the next form. This is our sign and out requirements. It will be the most important form that you have for the duration of your child's enrollment. We want to make sure that every family member that is coming into the center is over the age of 18. Only the people that the parent or guardian has authorized on the emergency contact list will be allowed to bring that child in and out of the center. They will be assigned a PIN code to access the system to sign their child in and out. They have to be over the age of 18. They must have a photo ID at all times to verify that they are who they say they are. We ask that on the emergency contact list, when you are filling these out, that the name on the emergency contact list matches the ID name of the person that they're going to be coming in, because if the names do not match, we cannot release the child to them. This is for the child's safety. Every day that they are enrolled in the program, they have to be signed in and signed out. This is for the safety of the child, as we are legally responsible for the child while they are in our care. Make sure that there is a full legal signature of every person that's coming in. It is an electronic sign pad, so make sure that even if they're signing in and out, doesn't matter how big the iPad is, they need to make sure that the signature is as close to their legal signature on their legal document that they're bringing to prove it's them. It must be a photo ID with their name and picture on it. The contract hours that we have set up have to be followed as closely as possible. Those will be indicated on the contract form that you will be receiving at the initial enrollment. If you are coming in any later than 9:30 in the morning, you do need to make prior arrangements with the coordinating teacher or the teacher in charge at the site. The child will not be accepted after 9:30 if you have not made those prior arrangements. We do have to close the school campuses after 9:30 to ensure the safety of the staff and the children. For any school-age children, if you're going to pick them up early, make sure that you are calling the site to let them know that you have signed the child out of the elementary school. As our staff members, if the child is not signed out, we'll go and look for the child. We will use all of the resources we have available. We will call all the emergency contacts. We will call the school campus. We can call school campus security. And the last option would be calling the police if we do not know where the child is located if you have not signed them out. So it is very important that they are signed in and out every single day that they're there so that we can account for your child. In the event there is an emergency, we need to make sure that we can account for these children using the sign-in out sheets. We also receive school funding using these sign-in out sheets. So if your child is not signed in and out properly, we can be penalized. Please make sure that you are verifying the information every day. If you have questions, you can feel free to talk to the teacher. If you lose your PIN code, those can be resent to you. The PIN codes are text messaged out from our system. The teacher at the site also has a copy of those on their iPad that once you bring your photo ID to show who you are, they can give you that information. The state, again, does do an audit of all of these sheets to make sure that they are being done properly. There can be consequences if they are not done correctly, which we will get to on the next sheet. If you are not signing them out each and every time, we are only allowed to have 3 mistakes before your child may be disenrolled from the program. So on this form, please make sure you read through it carefully. Even if it's not you making the mistakes, you're going to be responsible for it because this is your child's enrollment. So please make sure that any of your emergency contacts are aware of the rules and regulations for this. And then after you go through this, please make sure you print your name, print your child's name, and then go ahead and sign it and date it at the bottom. Go ahead and take a minute to go over the form, fill out the information at the bottom, and then I'm going to take a pause and you guys can go ahead and go to the next page. All right, so this page is the back of your sign in out requirements. This, I need you to print your child's first and last name and then print your first and last name. If you have any errors on your sign in out sheet, you're not signing your child in and out properly, you're forgetting the signature, or you're not coming in with your PIN codes. If there's any errors on that, you're signing them out past the sign in out time, this can be documented on this form. The first warning will be documented here. The site supervisor or the teacher will go over each error with you to help you not make it again. They'll also give you a copy of the sign-in out requirements at that time and review the correct way to do that. If you have a second warning, it'll be documented here as well. The third time that you make the mistake, you can be disenrolled from the program. These mistakes are good for the duration of your child's school year. So if you are continuing on for years after the first time that you're in our program, these will not follow you throughout the duration of your child's enrollment. There's nothing else that you need to do other than printing your child's first and last name and then your name. The only time the rest of it will be filled out is if there are any errors. Go ahead and take time to do that information, and then we'll go ahead and go to the next page. This is the parents' rights form. This form also goes hand in hand with your personal rights. This form is also a licensing form and ensures the safety of your child in our centers. Your child does have the right to be treated with respect, and in our care, we are also making sure that we are treating anybody that comes into the center that is a representative of your child with respect as well. You do have your rights. Make sure you read through these. The licensing information, again, is here. There is a hotline that you can contact if you do have any questions or concerns or you want to report anything. And then at the bottom, once you've gone through all the information, please make sure you print your child's first and last name here, the name of the center here, and then you sign it and date it at the bottom. So go ahead and take a minute to review the information, and then we'll go on to the next page. This form is the appeals procedures. Anytime you are enrolling your child into our program and you disagree with any of our decisions, you do have the right to an appeal. On the back of the notice of action that you will be receiving at the time that you have any changes made to your enrollment, whether it is an initial enrollment, a disenrollment to the program, or we are changing anything that has to pertain to your child's enrollment. You do, on the back of the form, can access those appeals. You have to do the appeal within 14 days of receiving the notice. If it's mailed out, we do account for extra time for you to receive that in the mail and then respond to it. So on this, you will be receiving the notice of action either mailed or handed to you. You can mail it back to us if you want to appeal it. Within 10 calendar days, we will receive that and we will respond to it. You do have the right to a hearing. It would be either yourself or a representative for you has to attend. They will tell you the day and time that works for both of you. And if the decision is made to continue with the disenrollment, you will be notified in writing. However, if your appeal is upheld, then you can continue services like you have been. However, if your disenrollment continues, you do have the right to appeal that decision with the state. The information for all of this is on the back of your notice of action, and again, you will receive a copy of one every single time there is any changes to your services. And make sure that if you are appealing any information, that you are completely filling out the back of the form and following the steps completely. If you do not, your appeal can be considered abandoned if there is any information missing. So please be mindful of that. On the bottom of the form, you are stating that you do understand that you do have appeals rights. You are printing your name here, printing your child's name here, and then you are signing it and dating the form at the bottom. Go ahead and take a minute to read through it, and then I'll go ahead and go on to the next page. This is the daily health check. Every child in our program must come to school healthy and able to participate in all the activities. If your child has been sick with the fever of 101 or higher, we ask that you keep your child home for at least 24 hours until your child is completely symptom-free without the use of medication. Every day that your child is being enrolled into the program, they will just do a daily visual check to make sure that your child doesn't look lethargic or have any signs of a fever, any illnesses, that type of thing. If your child has an excessive cough or has excessive mucus, we ask that you keep them home because we do not want to put them in any uncomfortable situations until they are ready to come back to the center. You do have excused absences, so you will not be disenrolled from the program if your child is out ill for an excessive amount of time. We will go over the amount of time that you are allowed on the next form. This one here, please make sure that you go over it completely and make sure you sign it and date it at the bottom, stating that you do understand those rules. Go ahead and take a minute, and then we'll go on to the next page. This is the student absence legal requirements. These are all the reasons your child can be absent from the program and have it be counted as an excusable absence. If your child is ill or in quarantine, or you are ill or in quarantine, that is considered an excused absence. If there's a family emergency, whether it's a death in the family, birth in the family, natural disaster, transportation issues, any of those things are considered excused absences. If there is ever a family emergency, you have unlimited time for all of these reasons in order for your child to return to the center. If there is a court order, for any reason, you have to be in court and you have to take your child with you. That is an excused absence. Depending on what the court reason is, if it's for visitation or child custody, and that would affect your child's enrollment, we would need a copy of that court document upon your return. For all of these reasons, if your child is absent for more than 10 days, we require proof of the absence. If it's less than that, then we do not need proof of whatever the absence was. However, you are required to call every single day that your child will be absent from the program so that we can document the reason. If the child is going to be gone for 2 days, 4 days, that's fine. It has to be 10 consecutive days or more where we require the proof. The best interests of the child days are also what we call vacation days. If you have a family member visiting from out of town that you would like your child to stay home and visit with, or you are taking a vacation, then you have 10 days for the year that you can use to have your child stay home and use those for their best interest. If you need more than those 10 days, that will have to be approved before you are using the additional time. Those would be considered unexcused absences and have to be signed off on by the director prior to them being used to ensure that you are not being disenrolled from the program. The state does not allow us to get that reimbursement unless it is signed off on. So it is a requirement that we have to ensure that the sites are not being put in a negative situation for our funding. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact your site supervisor or the teacher at your child's center, and they can review the information with you. Unexcused absences are any time that you do not come into the center and call and let them know that the child will not be attending. If you have more than 3 days of unexcused absences where we have no contact with you, the site has been calling you, you are not responding, your phone number does not work anymore, and we cannot get in contact with you, the child services will be disenrolled. If there are too many excessive absences, even if your child is continuing to attend, you can be disenrolled from the program because we do not get funding for every day that your child has excessive absences. We are very strict on this because we want to ensure that your child is attending regularly to receive all the benefits of the program. If you want to disenroll from the program at any time, please make sure you communicate that with us so that your child's services are not negatively impacted. On this form, go ahead and reread the information if you do have any questions. No matter what the reason your child is absent for, the fees for the services will continue to generate unless you do a parent request to disenroll from the program. On this form, the only thing that you need to do is after you've reviewed the information, go ahead and sign it and date it. Go ahead and take a minute, review the information, and then we'll go on to the next page. Each site have parent groups. Participation in parent groups is completely voluntary. If funds are being collected for a school activity, funds may not be collected by the school staff. Please sign and date the form once you have read it through before continuing on to the next page. This is the late pickup procedure. Every child has to be picked up on time. Please print your child's first and last name here, the name of your school site here, and for every day that your child is enrolled in the program, they do need to be picked up on time. For our full day program, the child must be picked up when their contract hours ends, or if it's at the close of business at 5:30, no later than 5:30. The sites do close right on time. We do not have the type of program where you can pay to come in late. It is a subsidized program, so the children cannot be there any time past their contracted time. So please be very mindful of that. You do have as many emergency contacts on your emergency contact list to come and assist you with that to ensure that your child is being picked up on time. The first time you're late, it will be a warning. The second time late is a conference at the site with either the coordinating teacher or the teacher in charge. The third time you're late is a conference here in the office with one of the program coordinators because they want to make sure that you understand if you're late a fourth time within that 12-month period, it can mean a disenrollment of services. We do understand that there are extreme circumstances that will cause you to be late occasionally, but the expectation is that you are there on time every day to pick up your child or a representative for you. On this form, once you have gone through the instructions, go ahead and sign the form, print your name, and then date it. Go ahead and take a minute, go through it, and then we'll go on to the next page. This is the student dress standards. Every child in all of our programs is required to wear a uniform. Each site will have a specific uniform, and that information will be given out at the conclusion of your enrollment, and it will be in the parent handbook that is mailed out to your house once we've completed the enrollments. On this form, the acceptable attire is listed here. The unacceptable attire is placed here. Your child is allowed to wear the sun protective clothing if they choose to. However, they are not allowed to wear them in the classroom unless there is a medical reason that they need to. On this form, go ahead and review it. We do follow the same standards that the rest of the school district does to ensure that there is consistency throughout the sites. On the bottom of the form, you're going to write your child's name where it says student name. You're going to sign the form next to the parent signature, and where it says print your name, please print your name. On the right-hand side of the form, please write the name of your child's site, and then date the form once you've completed it. Go ahead and take a minute to review the form, and then we'll go on to the next page.